Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Joe Davis from Southern New Hampshire University, CJ 300. We're Research Methods for Criminal Justice. Today I want to take you on a tour of the Shapiro Library. The access to the library is very easy, which we'll do in just a moment. You can do it from the My SNHU homepage there under Applications on the right-hand side where it says Shapiro Library, or you can use the website that's LIBGUIDS Library Guides edu/home, and it will also take you there. Excuse me. Here are some important phone numbers and contact information. You can use this, this is on the front page, the home page of the Shapiro Library site to begin with, so it's not like you won't see it again. I wanted to make sure because I will email all of you this PowerPoint, plus you get to see it as you're watching in case you want to make notes. My point here is that librarians are your greatest resource at the university. The professors are all wonderful, your advisors are nice people. Librarians enjoy doing research. They enjoy helping people. That's why they're librarians at a major university. And so take advantage of that. As you can see, there is a phone number to call. There is a phone number to text. There is an email where you can ask questions. And I believe the 24/7 chat is still available. And I'll show you where Justice Studies is. So, with all of that said, let's go to the library. Honest, we're going from right where you're sitting. Okay, as I said, if you go to the My SNHU page, the page that you come to when you log on, you can see over here under Applications, there it is, the Shapiro Library. So if we click on that, it takes us directly to the library. And as you can see in the upper right hand corner, there is a 24/7 chat with a librarian, there is an email, and there is a toll-free number that you can dial to get help from a librarian. Since we're doing research methods, this is your only place to find information. And I know you're thinking, well, I can Google. No, you can't. I guess the difference is you may not. Yes, you can. You're physically able. I want you to learn to use the Shapiro Library. I want you to learn to do real research because that's what we're after here. When you look straight in the middle of the screen where it says search for books, articles, and more in this box, that's the same as Google or Yahoo or any of the others. So you can type anything you want in there, and this search engine will go out and find scholarly research. And scholarly research is generally peer-reviewed, made up of peer-reviewed articles. That means I write an article, I send it to my peers, other professors, they read it, they comment, they send it back to me, and then I send it on its merry way to get published. Okay? That's the box that you're going to use almost every time. And I say that because you can come down here and there are very specific databases. But for us, I don't think we need to worry about doing that. If this were a psychology class, there's one for psychology, that sort of thing. And so I don't think we need to do that. Here is a link to help you with citing sources so that you can follow APA format. You can also use the University of Purdue OWL, the online writing lab. Some call it the link, but OWL gives you all of that stuff. Okay, library hours, and so that if you're actually in the area and want to go to physically the library. Okay, so now you've been assigned to select a research topic from the list that was provided. Okay, so that list includes, I'm trying to count real quick, it looks like about 6 different topics. And if you want to write on something else, you've got to get that to me. You've got to get an email back from me that it's been approved. So we'll just take the first one. It says domestic violence. And this entails violent abuse within the home, often involving spouses or partners with intimate relationships. This type of crime can extend to child abuse within the home as well. You need to start thinking about narrowing the focus of your search, because if we type in just domestic violence, no other parameters, and we search, we're going to see that the Shapiro library and the search engine, has gone out and found 200,000 academic scholarly sources for us. Okay, that's way too many. That's way too many. But we will use this as an example to learn to use the library. Now, we want to refine our search here on the left-hand side because there's no way we're going to read 200,000 articles. So what you may look at is, do we only want where there is an electronic full text available? And that means that you can get the entire study, survey, whatever it is, online. So the second item, or the first item down, where it says ebook full text. Well, that means, yeah, you can download the entire thing. Peer-reviewed articles, that's what I talked about, scholarly research. So I would say, yes, let's click on that and see what it does to our search. It cut it in half. There are only 93,000 peer-reviewed academic scholarly articles. Okay, now we move on down and see that whether that's available in print or in full electronic text, the library can get you documents that are not available online. However, what I would suggest to you is that because we only have 8 weeks, and by the time the library locates it from another library, they ship it to you, you could lose a week right there. Okay, if you were on campus, that might be a little different. But what I'm saying to you is to try to find the electronic ones. Okay, publication date, I would say you want nothing older than 5 years. So we can go in here and type it in and make it 2012, which is 5 years worth of research rather than 100 years worth of research. It's going to update, and now we went down to 25,000 articles, and so far all we've done is screened. We haven't really looked at anything topic specific. Okay, so now limit by content. So we currently have all results. Well, we can look at academic journals, we can look at reviews, we can look at doctoral dissertations, books, and conference material. I would suggest for where we are today, we only look at the academic journals. And so that takes us down to a little over 24,000. All right, there are a lot of other choices, as you can see up here: domestic violence and children, domestic violence and drugs, domestic violence and arrest, things like that. Okay, so let's just look at the first item that's here, and it says anticipatory fear and helplessness predict PTSD and depression in domestic violence survivors. Okay, so if you want to narrow the focus of your paper, which you're going to have to do, and your research, perhaps that's what you're going to look at, is post-traumatic stress disorder in domestic violence survivors, which means you would go up here and put domestic violence, PTSD, survivor, and see how many articles come up. But in this case, we'll just look at this first one. This article was published in January of 2017, very current. It's only about 8 pages long, and you can see the citation for where it can be found. Now you can see the HTML full version of it, or we can see the PDF of it. Okay, and it's in an academic journal. And so for now, well, let's see if we can just go to the website rather than download. Okay, there is the article. Let me scroll up, and I realize that's going to be probably too small for you to read. But the idea is that you can see the study was funded by Spunk Fund International. The authors thank the directorate. That's typical stuff. But over here on the left-hand side, you can see the methods of their research, who are the participants, the measures, the procedures they use, the data analysis, and their results. Those are the things we're going to study. Okay, we're going to study these research methods in CJ 300. All right, so I hope that helps you. I've walked you hopefully through how to get to the Shapiro library, how to do very basic research and look for a topic, come up with what it is that you're interested in. I guess we should try domestic violence and PTSD and survivors and see what we get, just so that you get an idea. Now we're down to there are only 188 articles. Okay, association between symptoms and dismantling trial of cognitive processing therapy in female interpersonal violence survivors. That's how narrow the focus needs to be. All right, hope that helps. Keep the cards and letters coming. Let me know what I can do to help you.